What I should have said was, in fact, ignorant men and maybe some religions have done far more to promote and glorify violence than any other kind of movement, all in the name of ignorance. That's what I should have said in one of the previous videos. They had the Steven Anderson video of him talking about 9/11 and the Gulf War and the Operation Iraqi Freedom. Well, I got some more stuff on the subject of idols. And it is intellectually dishonest to say that your path is the only truth, is the only path toward truth. To believe or even hang your body on, which is, by the way, the Hebrew words in the Hebrew Bible, hang your body on something. That's the word. That's what we would use pisteo in the Greek. The pistis or pisteo. It's one of those words. But I like the word hang your body because it's like, yeah, you wouldn't hang your body on the stick that's going to break on something, because to believe or even hang your body on something because it is absurd is foolish and unwise. A man should neither deny that which he knows little to nothing about, nor accept it to be true. For emotions to not be structured properly is not a wise thing. And people on the autism spectrum, as well as neurotypicals, have this problem. And let me bring up the thing about the people not having wisdom to actually, let's see if I can find it. It's in here somewhere. It's in here somewhere. And I talked about it with some people, and I have it. I have it in here. So I think here it is. The book of Proverbs, chapter 10, verse 19 says, "When there are many words, transgression is unavoidable, but he who restrains his lips is wise." You know, it is not always necessary to tell the truth all the time, just as it is not always necessary to lie all the time. Just as it is not necessary to talk all the time. Thought I'd bring that up for with the fact that it has something to do with people on the autism spectrum and neurotypicals, which, by the way, have similar issues. By the way, it's this different, opposite spectrum. They both don't know when to shut the hell up. It's very interesting. You know, people talk about how the thing in the Kybalion that I talk about, if I can find it here. Oh, that's not true. Christianity is the true religion. Yeah. You see, that's what happens when you believe, I am the way, I am the only way, the only truth, and the only life. It's what happens when you propagate such a doctrine, is that it blinds you to your own ignorance, to your own stupidity, to your own foolishness. You know, there's that quote in the Kybalion, if I can find it, and it's here, right here. everything is dual, everything has poles, everything has its pair of opposites. Like and unlike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. I mean, what I pointed out now. Extremes meet. All truths are but half-truths. All paradoxes may be reconciled. See, that's exactly kind of what I pointed out right there. People don't really think about that. People don't really think about how how oh, I'm the truth. I'm Republican conservative. And the conservatives are on the side of God. God. Oh, the Democrats are on the side of reason. And they fall for that crap. And see, my point. They fall for their own ignorance, thinking that they know what they're saying all the time. You know? And as I said, how do you know that the Republican Party is on the side of God? Could very well be on the side of Satan. Because I remember the Antichrist. You always hear to be considered is going to be a politician. Now, how many presidents have been called the Antichrist? Probably quite a few. But back to what I wanted to say. In regard to, the lips of wisdom are closed except to the ears of understanding. Okay. I know how to find water from. Okay. I want to find where I was at, because I just want to bring this up. And I'm probably going to have to edit out some of this stuff. Well, that'd be a good idea anyway. So here's where I was. Well, let's talk about intellectual dishonesty, blah 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 blah. For emotions to not be structured properly is not a wise thing. And people on the autism spectrum, as well as neurotypicals, have this problem. I just illustrated that point, that they have more in common than they do difference. Which is why you really should consider that you may not know you may not be exactly right. So I suffered because I believed in absurdities, because I was naive, by the way. To see that the image of Krishna is really Krishna, the person, is as absurd as saying that the picture of me is literally me, as in the person, instead of it being a representation of me. That's a representation of God. And God's not necessarily Krishna. God's more than just simply that image. That happens to be what that particular people want on. This is Hinduism in Hindu culture, and its proper understanding. No, not even Krishna is deity. Pointed that out. Deity with a big D. Not necessarily God, not necessarily goddess. Could be either, or neither, or both. Let's not get into that one. Quoting the Gospel of Thomas, That is that's a that's an that is an apocryphal gospel. And how do you know you got? And by the way, how do you know your gospels are? That's not inspired word of God. Well, so are your gospels, so are your epistles. You know, you know. I think it's spiritually dishonest to call other people. And yeah, there are people who probably think that Krishna, that's literally Krishna. You know, yeah, how not even, I don't even know if that's what Krishna looked like, or Shiva, or whoever, if they did exist. I don't know. See, I'm using more reason than most of these Christians because I understand things that they don't understand. I think that's about all.